Hey guys, how's it going? It's me, Josh Halter, owner and founder of The BioDude. I'm actually here at my store, The BioDude Houston. You can come visit me Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. to 4, Saturday, 10 to 2. Visit my website, thebiodude.com. I have a very special guest again.
Hello, I'm Mariah Healy from reptiles.com.
So today we are building an 18 by 18 by 24 Exo Terra terrarium for a crested gecko. So I'm really excited to do this because we've had a lot of people asking for just an updated how-to crested gecko video. We've already got the base of the enclosure set up. Mariah and I are gonna go over the basic fundamental requirements of this species, show you a beautiful male that we have here at the BioDude for sale, as well as just have fun building this awesome tank that we're gonna raffle off here at the BioDude Houston. It's as simple as getting a ticket, putting your name in, and then you win a tank built by Josh Halter and Mariah Healy. Gonna be great. So Mariah, show us a little bit about what you did here, so that way my viewers kind of have a little bit of an understanding what they're looking at.
All right, so to save time, we decided to just start with the substrate already in there. So we've got our drainage layer here with the hydro grow layer, about 1 inch. Then we've got a nice layer of separation here with some mesh cut to size to match the bottom of the enclosure. And then we have a mix of BioDude Terrafauna with spag moss and leaf litter to make sure it's nice and aerated, make sure it's ready, and there goes the good stuff.
Yep. Got that mixed
That's
in there.
That's the magic.
Yep. So we're
get
gonna
all of our powdered beneficial bacteria and fungi. Do not snort that.
Oh.
Not like you'd want to. It would smell awful.
Oh my God, yeah. It's like when that dude Steve-O snorted wasabi. I digress. Okay, so we just added the BioShock, guys. You know, that's gonna put our mycorrhizae processes in there, bacterial processes, help get our plants jump started quick. Then we wanna add, we add the springtails and isopods after we're done building. Or do you wanna add them in now?
Yeah, I don't wanna risk crushing them as we add the plants.
I'm good. So, you know what? Let's show them our inhabitant so that way our viewers can see.
My very dirty hands.
I mean, this guy is awesome. And
he's gorgeous.
I'm going to get him out so that way you guys can see his sticky feet. You know, I think that's the best part about the Cresties is their sticky feet. Perfect. Okay. So we're not using a background. I originally was going to have a background for this, but I don't think this tank's going to need it. Let us know in the comments. Let's get building. Okay.
All right. Hardscape first.
Okay.
Let's start with our bigger pieces and go. Thank you again for cutting this down.
Of course.
Let's see. I really like the holes in this one. I feel like we can do something.
There's a lot of opportunity there, and he's going to love to sleep in that too.
Yes, he will.
So, in my experience, crested geckos, they spend the majority of their time in trees. Like they are arboreal, essentially. But they will venture onto the forest floor, especially leaf litter, to hunt when necessary. But I've even found young crested geckos literally resting down in the leaf litter. But they spend the majority of their time always up. So it's important that you're using cork tubes or, honestly, branches. Like you can even get away with grapevine. It might mold a little bit, but that's fine. To give them lots of different perches and a lot of opportunities for other types of plants to mount. They are from New Caledonia, which essentially is just a bunch of different islands. And they're not Rhacodactylus anymore, are they?
No, they're Corallifus.
Yep.
However you want to pronounce that.
Yep. And they are probably one of the best beginner geckos in the pet trade, in my opinion. They're up there with leopard geckos and other types of critters like that.
So by the way, what I am doing here
looks pretty awesome.
Is I am creating, so warning, do not use this with crickets. So I'm creating a kind of sort of a background, but not really, of just cork flats to give this more enclosed forested look. And also create some spaces where the crested gecko can hang out when it doesn't feel like
he's gonna like those crevices.
Social. Yep.
He can get down
looks
and
good.
yep.
Oh yeah, we got some more. Oh, he's gonna fit great in these. He's gonna pretend he's a lychee. Let's see.
I like what you're doing here. You're going for a side approach.
Yeah, with one of my builds recently, I covered all three, well, my Crested Gecko build at home that I'm working on, I covered all 3 sides of the enclosure with a mosaic of cork flats. It was
Sounds
a process.
awesome.
But the results I'm very happy with because it looks very natural. I don't have to, yeah, I want to see if that'll close. It should. All right. And I'm just super happy.
I was at Living Treasures not that long ago, and I literally had to build tanks, massive tanks bigger than this, only using these 2 edges. I couldn't use the background, and I couldn't use the front.
Yikes, that's difficult.
It was really tough, but we did it.
Good job.
Lots of options here. I love this. This looks great. So the water dish is going to be centralized right. Well, I shouldn't say water dish.
On the
yeah,
wall for
I'm talking
sure.
like in a ground opportunity zone because our water dish is going to be elevated.
Ground opportunity zone. I like that word. Yes.
Yeah, I always provide. I call them opportunity zones. So opportunity zones, guys, in BioDude words, they are like accents that hold water that your critter can go down and hydrate no matter where we're at. Other opportunity zones are bromeliads and other epiphytes that hold water in their axils. So that way, again, it gives your critter the ability to get hydrated in multiple areas of your enclosure if for some reason your water dish would get dumped or, you know, something would.
I don't know if I like that. Okay. Mostly I'm concerned about getting the climbing material up high.
Okay.
I mean, we've already got stuff here in the back, but
Yeah.
he's got the sticky toes. He can use the glass. Oh, yeah. Oh, that could be fun if we can make it work.
Is this too much for you? Hold on. Here we go.
Maybe that one instead. Will it balance, though? How stable is that? It's good for a Cresty.
Yep, and we can I can reinforce with spag on the
Yeah.
side. Pretty solid inline here. It closes. Plants.
All right.
Okay. So I'm definitely going to go with an aglaonemia. So here's what I've learned. Cresties love plants that their bodies can fit in. So if your critter can fit the entirety of their body with their tail through the width and length of the leaf, they're arboreal, they will like it. It also can withstand the stress test. Now this is an aglaonemia tigris. So she's going to get a little bit of height, which is exactly what I want. And have a very good complex root system. I will get to the accents right after we are done. There we go.
This over here? I don't know. I'll let you figure out the plants. You did a really good job on the last
That
one.
isn't bad by any means.
You can say, nah, I don't like that. I
No.
won't be offended.
But, see, this one's too beefy.
I almost want this trailing down from the back.
I do
don't
too.
know
And
if we have the right pockets for it.
We can do it.
You think?
Yes, we do. What do you think about the lemon button right
I
here?
love lemon button ferns.
Right there?
Yeah, I think
Okay.
they look good.
And then we have something we can do with the... So, guys, these holes here in the tubes, we want to use them. But we also have to make sure that we save some space as
Cresty.
entrances and exits for our critters, i.e. the crested gecko. So, can I keep a pair in an 18 by 24, Mariah?
No. 18 by 18 by 24 is the minimum recommended size for housing one adult crested gecko. So if you wanted to keep a pair together for breeding purposes, I don't recommend doing that. It's best to keep the males and females separate, except for when you want to intentionally breed them. You would need a larger enclosure. I would say for a pair at least 24, 24, 48. But in general, you shouldn't be keeping multiple crested geckos together. They don't seem to be particularly social.
Yes. So, once your female breeds...
You gotta get a shot
Oh, yeah. There he goes. So once your female starts breeding, she doesn't need to breed with the male anymore to keep consistently laying eggs. Isn't that true? with crested geckos, or is that not
fertilized eggs? Probably you might be able to get a year's worth, but eventually she'll need to top back up.
Yep.
So to speak.
So about a year for those of you listening for.
And don't quote me on that. I am
like
not
that.
a breeder.
I'm not either. I'm not a breeder. That's just something that I've like heard people say, and I just wasn't sure if that's something that you.
I really like the color we're getting with that pop of red in the front. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Oh, we can always trim that too.
Oh yeah, I trim these back all the time because the heat bulb's going to be right here. But this gives us complexity on the top, especially when it clears out, and I can route this to go up and down.
And some cover too for the gecko.
And we're going to wrap this creeping fig around right here, like so.
Yes, that looks great.
And then we're going to make sure it doesn't overwhelm our tigress. And then I got some epiphytes. I got some bromeliads here. Now I want to see if this is even possible. So now my thought process is we have a lizard ledge here, or we have a lizard ledge here, and a lizard ledge here.
Let's see, for accessibility reasons, I'd probably put it here so it could climb right up there.
So this is another product I don't highlight enough. This is my lizard ledge.
Alternatively, I mean,
You can see my emeralds are on the front there. Stars of the show.
If you don't mind obstructing a little bit of view, you can put it right here in the front. This is something maybe for people keeping crested geckos. I always put my ledges in the front just because it makes it that much easier to access when I'm topping up water, when I need to swap the dishes, obviously when I need to replace the food dish.
That looks so nice.
But oh, that does look good.
I love my ledges, dude. Okay, now we're using 2 ledges, and the reason is one ledge is for water, and other ledge is for feeding. So my crested gecko, they love the Pangea and the Rapashi diet. Mine particularly like the one that is red with insects, and that's right here.
I keep my crested gecko and all of my other frugivorous species on a mixture of basically as many crested gecko diets as I can manage. So I have a rotation of at least 3 at any given time. Currently I'm rotating about 6 with, let's see, Pangea, Rapashi, and Lugardi diets.
That's a good rotation
it's
there.
Good for nutritional variety. More importantly, it's good for getting different flavors into them so they have a form of sensory enrichment. That looks great.
So I'm going to put, it is a little nut pod right here.
Yes. Woo!
I'm going to put this right there.
Brutal.
Like that. Put that right there like this.
Now where are we going to put our little shroom ledge?
I don't think these are in the cards.
Bummer. Oh well, sometimes that
And I'm going
happens.
to put these nut pods. Now, guys, all right, you use these for they're, again, opportunity zones, but 2, pieces like this, they are great biomass for your cleanup crew and your fungi. They go crazy for this stuff.
And amazing visual interest.
Yep. So I like breaking them up, but you know, everyone's different. Put that right here. Then I think it's time we add our springtails and isopods. What do you think?
Yeah, it's looking pretty good.
Yeah? You happy with this?
Yeah.
I think it looks pretty great. So let's do it. Let's add the bugs. So for starters, we have tropical springtails. I believe in here it's the pinks. But I have cultured right now.
Look at them jumping around.
Yeah, it's definitely the pinks. So this is a pretty large species. They do really well.
Make good feeders for morning geckos too.
Yes, they do. And for young dart frogs.
Try not to get the charcoal everywhere. Let's see. A little bit there. All right. Get out! Consider yourselves evicted.
Nice.
Sort of. Not really evicted.
All right, so we got
That's
the
kind of eviction I
springtails
want.
put in there.
Yep.
Next, we have some isopods. We got a really healthy group of powder orange. All right, sorry, powder orange, powder blue. It's been a long day, guys. Got a good solid amount of adults in here, so we're just gonna go ahead. We're gonna dump them right on in.
And they're going to need about a month to get established. Might need to top up on springtails or isopods as appropriate, but this is a good start.
Okay, so we have a beautiful Rex begonia. I'm gonna start at the base. We have our hydrogrid drainage layer with a mesh. We have our terra fauna mixed with our BioShot as well as our powder blue and tropical pink springtails mixed with our AAA sphagnum moss as well as some leaf litter. That's how we're achieving all of our bioactivity. Utilizing cork bark branches, Rex begonia, lemon button fern, 2 neoregalia bromeliads, creeping fig, and Aglaonemia tigris. We expect this tank to grow in very nicely, and we really hope this guy loves his home. So there's still more that comes to his care. Mariah, can you tell us a little bit about what he's gonna need here when it comes to lighting and other things and his calcium?
Okay, so in terms of care, crested geckos are one of the best starter reptiles because they are so simple to care for and they really don't require much. That being said, they still have particular requirements. First, if we're talking about general lighting, since we have a planted tank, we want to start with a good grow light. Right here we have the BioDude Glow and Grow for our plant light, about what, 12 inches long?
That one is 16.
That one's 16, all right. And that's going to nourish the plants as well as help provide a distinct day-night cycle. Okay, we'll put you in after the water's been added.
I'm misting after the...
All right, so in terms of other lighting, technically crested geckos can survive without UVB lighting as a nocturnal species. However, they still benefit from it. It tops them up on all of the vitamin D3 that they need because they make it through their skin when exposed to UVB wavelengths. And it also strengthens their immune system, improves the digestion. Basically, exposure to UVB light improves almost every process in a reptile's body in the way that it functions. So it's definitely something that you don't want to skimp out on. Of course, you need to provide an appropriate amount of it, not just any old UVB bulb that you find. So we're starting with a Arcadia Shade Dweller, 7%.
They also make the, Arcadia just came out with the new Shade Dweller Arboreal, which is another great option.
Yes, that is actually what I would prefer to be using
likewise.
today. But since we don't have it in stock, we are going with the Shade Dweller, and that is just fine because right now the way that the tank is built, we should have no problem with getting the distance. We're looking at a target UVI of between 1 and no more than 3 at the highest point of exposure, and that distance should be measured not from the top of the enclosure to the basking spot, but the top of the enclosure to the height of the animal's back on the basking surface. That's going to be mounted in a Solar Grow 12-inch T5 fluorescent light strip, which has a reflector on it, which multiplies the output of the bulb so that you are getting every last bit of that UVB directed downward toward your reptile. Heating-wise, yes, crested geckos do require some heating. They are ectotherms. They are reptiles, which means allowing them to express the natural behavior of thermoregulating so that they can regulate their metabolism as needed is very important. So in order to get a basking temperature of about 80 to no more than 86, I like to keep it between 80 to 84, but I have observed my own crested gecko basking at 86. It is perfectly safe as long as that's only the basking temperature, not the general air temperature inside of the enclosure. You never want to let a crested gecko enclosure general temperature to get above about 80.
Yep.
So we've got our Exo Terra glow light, nice small fixture, and a crested gecko. By the way, for those of you who are concerned, they are built to do jumps like that. They do trust falls where they fall and land on something. So you're like, oh no, he went splat. He's absolutely fine. They are built to do this. It's pretty amazing how gecko skeletons are, particularly crested geckos. Then we have our 25-watt halogen basking spot. So if you watch our video on heating, We're going with halogen to make sure we get those lovely infrared A and infrared B wavelengths to provide maximum warmth retention and efficient thermoregulation. So we're going to put that in there, and it's going to go in a place where the gecko can easily go under the heat lamp but also escape. You want that to be on one of the extremes of the enclosure, so extreme left or right, so there's still plenty of opportunities for the animal to climb outside of direct heat. You're going to want to measure those temperatures with a digital probe thermometer such as BioDude's. Reason for the probe is it allows you to measure temperature exactly where the reptile is going to be feeling it. So you're going to want that probe on the basking surface, making sure it's not getting too hot. If the bulb is getting too hot, we're going to have to take a lamp dimmer or a thermostat and dim it down to the desired temperature. Food-wise, you need Crested Gecko diet like we were talking about. There are several great brands of Crested Gecko diet. Yep. This is one of the things that makes them so easy to keep. This, for a growing Crested Gecko, you're going to want to offer fresh Crested Gecko diet every night. Once they're adults, you can switch to every other night. For babies, you'll want to also provide live insects, if at all possible.
Yeah, that's really
for them
important.
to eat, preferably twice a week, if not more often. Adults can be reduced to once a week or so.
A varied diet, man, is key for
and a variety of insects. Oh, he likes me too much,
Yep.
I guess.
He's yours.
Nope. He's like, no, I don't want to go to
He's made
Josh.
his choice.
I like
Let's see where
Mariah's
it
dirty
is.
soil-covered hands. And then when you are feeding those feeder insects, so you make sure the feeders are not larger than the gecko's head, so it can chew and swallow them easily. So preferably slightly smaller. You are going to dust all of feeder insects with a good calcium supplement. I prefer Mineral Outdoor personally, or just Mineral Indoor and Outdoor. Outdoor does not contain vitamin D. Indoor does. Why we're using Outdoor is because the gecko will already be getting vitamin D from exposure to the UVB bulb,
Yep.
as well as dietary vitamin D from the Crested Gecko diet. So using a supplement without that is going to be great, and you can use a plain calcium supplement with no D3, or you can, what I like about the mineral is that it contains a lot of trace minerals that you're not really going to see in a Crested Gecko diet, but it's just going to help to round out your animal's nutrition a little bit more.
Yep.
All right.
Awesome. So while Mariah was giving some great information, doing what she does, I did what I do. I added a little bit of some moss up, meow.
Moss.
Some moss right, meow. Some moss up here. Again, I really like how this tank turned out. I think it looks freaking great. I really hope he likes it.
Oh, he will love it.
So,
Want to check it out, little guy?
so if you guys have any other questions or any questions, I guess, you can just reach out to us at customercare@biodude.com. Again, you can come to our point of sale, the BioDude Houston, and enter to win this terrarium.
I want it.
It's going to be awesome. I would really like to thank Mariah for coming all the way down here to Houston from Utah to spend a good solid amount of time here at the BioDude. Thank you so much.
It's been worthwhile.
Yeah,
This has been fun.
It's been great. And I'm really excited to bring you guys some more awesome content with Mariah in the future. You guys know me, I'm Josh Halter, owner and founder of the BioDude. You can come visit my website, biodude.com, visit my store, hit that like, subscribe button.
I'm Mariah Healy, reptile husbandry specialist at reptilefiles.com, and I've got a great gecko care guide already up there. If you ever have any questions, you can also hit me up.
Thank you guys so much. Hope you enjoyed the video.